Hello.
The big club. The big club. The big club. The big club.
Team Greg.
That's not the lyrics, mate.
The big club. The big club. The big club.
Hey everybody, hello. My name is Sam, and over there is my friend Greg.
Hi everyone.
And welcome to Home Debate Club. Every week we help you and your family to lead a debate at home at the same time as lots of other people across the country. And how are you doing this week, Mr. Greg?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Sam.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. If you're joining us for the first time, we're so pleased to have you. You're most welcome. Take a moment to read the instructions just to the right of the screen or underneath, depending upon what you're watching on, and it will tell you how to take part. If you want to comment live, that like lots of our users do, use a second phone or a tablet and go to Home Debate Club on YouTube. And if you're there, maybe let us know how you're feeling today. How are you getting on? Maybe tell us if you're missing the sun or not. And if you are, maybe send us a 1. If you're not, send us a 5 and let us know how you're getting on. Are you missing the sun, Greg? You're not a sun person, are you?
I'm loving this rainy weather, Sam. It is fantastic. And what else do I have to say? So we're going to tell you how you get involved. So the 3 rules that we'd like you to follow to get involved in Home Debate Club is, firstly, listen carefully for instructions. Secondly, be ready to respond when we ask you. And thirdly, keep your comments kind and relevant if you're on YouTube or Facebook.
A very pertinent thing to discuss the rules, Greg, considering our question this week. But let's not preempt that too much for now. Okay, great. Well, that's very clear. Shall we get us started by having a warm-up, Greg?
Yes, so as we know, for people who've joined Home Debate Club before, what we do is we start every debate with a little bit of a game to get us moving or thinking. So what are we going to play today, Sam?
I'm quite excited for today's game. I'm not going to lie. So the game is called We're Going on an Adventure. And the game is part imagination and part finding things game. I really hope that you like it. How does that sound?
Brilliant, let's do it.
Okay, so this is how the game's going to work. We're going to pretend that we're all going on a journey together. We might be going to the rainforest, we might be going underwater, we might be going to the desert. I'll tell you soon where we're going. But before the journey starts, we need to pack a bag to make sure that we're bringing all the things we need for this journey. The game is all about finding objects in the room around you to help you prepare for this journey. You'll only have 10 seconds to find each object. And to stay in the game, you must bring something back with you. If you don't bring something back after 10 seconds, you can't come on the adventure.
Okay.
Those are the rules. Does that make sense to you, Greg, and everybody out there?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I'm going to stand up for this one, Sam.
You better be ready. So, should we just do a bit of an example, Greg, to show them how it works?
Okay, come on then, let's do it.
All right. So this is the example. Greg's going to do it at the same time as you guys need to do it at home or wherever you are. So make sure that you're following Greg along. So this is our example. On our adventure to the desert, we're going to need something to keep the sun out of our eyes. Ready? You've got 10 seconds. Go.
Oh, I can get my sunglasses.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, he's not going to come along on this adventure.
Got it. Sunglasses.
Yeah, I mean, great sunglasses, but technically you didn't find them in 10 seconds, Greg, so you're not coming along on that adventure.
That was just the practice though, Sam.
It was just a practice. They do look good, and they were the right thing to find, but we need to make sure we're doing it in the 10 seconds. Right, do you think the game is really clear now, Greg?
Yeah, got it.
All right, so now we're going to play for reals this time. Make sure you find your object in 10 seconds or you're not coming anymore. Right, so let's start. On our adventure to the desert, we're going to need something to help find our way at night when it's dark. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he's over. Greg, did you find anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you sure? I'm not sure you have. Okay, right. You've got something to help you. That'll do. Guys, as you're playing at home, maybe send us in some comments and let us know what you found as well. That'd be really great. And we'll give you a shout out at the end. Right. Well done. Next one. On our adventure to the desert, we'll need something to help us carry water. 1. Off you go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Easy.
7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Greg's got that one very early. Hopefully you guys did as well. Next one. Have you got all your objects there? You're collecting them all?
Yep.
Good. Well done. On our adventure to the desert, we're going to need something to help us navigate. Go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What have you got there, Greg?
I've got a map.
Is it of a desert?
It's of some mountains.
Okay. So it might not help us on our adventure, but it's a good thing to bring. So well done. Good thing. Add that to your pile. Right, next one. On our adventure to the desert, we're going to need something to entertain us. You've got 10 seconds. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I had a suspicion that this might happen. Greg is bringing a musical instrument on our adventure to the desert. Is that right, Greg?
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right.
It would be though.
I mean, that's good. That you're going to have to deal with that, aren't you? But add it to your pile. You're doing really well. Let's keep going. We've got 2, possibly 3 more things to find. Here we go. On our adventure to the desert, we're going to need something to help us create a path through the thick wildlife we might find. So, over to you. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is he struggling? 10. Okay, what's he got? What have you got, Greg?
Pizza slice.
A pizza slice. Fantastic. Brilliant. That's going to be really useful on our trip. Thank you very much. Add that to your pile. Okay, 2 more.
This last one, Sam. I'm getting hot again.
I know, it's okay. We've got 2 more, promise, and then we're done. On our adventure to the desert, we're going to need something to help us cook our food. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's gone again. 9, 10. Oh, he's back. What's he got?
Spatula.
A spatula. He's got a spatula. Okay, that's really good. Add that to your pile. Now, the last one, and I'm excited for this one. Last one. Okay. We're changing where we're going. We're not going to the desert, although we've got all of our things, which is great. We're now going underwater. We're going to go adventuring in the ocean, and we need to bring something that's going to help us breathe underwater. You've got 10 seconds. What are you going to bring, Greg? 1, 2.
It helps me breathe underwater.
3. You're going to bring something, otherwise you can't come. 4, 5, 6. Think of a straw. 9, 10. Okay, that's it. Greg, did you bring anything?
Snorkel.
Okay. Well done, Greg. You've done admirably there. Have you got all of your objects there ready for your adventure?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just show you everything.
Fantastic. You've got your assortment of objects. You've got your guitar as well. there is a man who is prepared for his adventure. Well done to Greg. Well done to everybody at home. I think we've got a couple of comments maybe to respond to. But a big shout out to you guys for playing at home. I hope you had a good time. Greg, is anybody we should give a quick shout out to before we recap last week?
Well, we've got lots of great ideas from lots of people who've been saying bottles, torches, binoculars, Google Maps. That's an interesting one for the map. I guess if you had a phone, you could use that. Hold on, my guitar's falling over. Oh.
Yeah, I can see there somebody's thought about bringing a Rubik's cube, which is very good. Somebody brought a straw for their breathing apparatus. I think that's smart. Well done. A pump as well. Well done, guys. That's amazing. Thank you for playing our game. I hope you had fun. Shall we move on, Greg?
Let's do it. Okay, so shall we give some shout outs to last week first, Sam?
Yeah, let's do that. So last week we discussed this question. We asked if you could put just one item into a time capsule and share it with future generations, what would it be and why? There were a load of people who got involved. We had a fantastic debate, but the winning option was sent in by Jake in Wilmslow, and his idea was the family portrait.
And I thought another one of the ideas was going to win, Sam, but on reflection, I can see why it was so popular, because obviously our families mean so much to us. And of course, we'd want to remember and preserve a small part of that to show future generations. So well done to everyone who took part. It was a great debate.
Yeah, it was. And a big thank you to everybody who helped make us such a great debate. And two special shout outs to young people who submitted their ideas alongside Jake. And that was Uma in Longsight and Jack in Sale. And also a big shout out to our volunteer, Anita in Tottenham, for her idea too. So well done, guys. And
all those ideas are so great to read or hear or see. So please do. At the end of today's debate, we're going to be revealing next week's question. So, that's my... sunglasses falling off. And we're going to be revealing next week's question. So we'd love to hear what you have to say about next week's debate as well. So we're going to move on to this week's debate now. So today's question is, do rules make life better or worse? So Sam, what do you think this question means?
Right, so I love this question. I think it's a question that all teachers should ask their students, all young people should be answering in general. So how can we think about it? Well, we've recently lived under a whole set of rules that we didn't have before as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. Some people have found those rules to be helpful and have listened to them very carefully. Other people have found them to be difficult or disagreed with some of those decisions and maybe didn't follow them as well. So with rules taking on such an important place in our lives right now, maybe even more so than they do normally, we wanted to ask you your opinion on whether you think that they are good, they're bad, or somewhere in between. That's what we're asking this week. Does that make sense, Greg?
Yes, thank you, Sam. Great explanation.
Great. So with that in mind, Greg, what is your most favorite or least favorite rule in life before we look at our ideas this week?
The rule I like the least is bedtime. So having to go to bed at a certain time, rubbish. Just want to stay up, have some more fun. Yeah. What about you?
Good question. One of my favorite rules, and I don't want to sound like a complaining old man, but one of my favorite rules is quiet in the cinema. It's so annoying when people talk in the cinema and it ruins everybody's enjoyment. So one of my favorite rules is when we say, actually, guys, be quiet, turn your phones off. I really like that rule. So those are our rules, but we're going to get some ideas now from young people to help contribute to our debate. So we've got 3 ideas that we're going to debate on this week, and I hope it's going to be a really spicy one. Our first idea is a team one. It was suggested by 2 young people, so we put them together. It's from Umar in Longsight and Jake in Wilmslow. So these people have been contributing a lot recently. Greg's going to tell us what they had to say.
So firstly, let me read out what Jake had to say. So I think rules make life better because if it weren't for rules, the world would be a terrible place. For example, people would steal instead of going to work and therefore the economy would collapse. Wow, great. Really, really good view there, Jake. That's amazing. Thank you. And also, Uma had to say, I think better because life is easy with rules. And if you don't have rules in life, the whole world would turn upside down. Wow. So some really, really good views there. So thanks to both Jake and Uma for sending those in.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done, Jake. Well done, Uma. Both your answers are so well written and so well reasoned. Jake, I thought your point about rules meaning order is an excellent position to be taking. Uma, I thought your use of the phrase the world upside down is really creative. So well done. That's our first option, and it's better. Our second idea comes from Mr. Greggy Gregerson in Tottenham, and this is what that's what he's saying.
Hi everyone, Greg here. I think that rules make life worse because they're so boring.
Oh well, that was a short one. What do you think, Sam?
Rules are boring. I mean, you don't like going to bed. You think rules are boring. We're getting a real insight into you today, Greg. But you know what? The amount of time when I was a teacher that I heard young people saying to me that they thought rules were boring is something that we need to have reflected. And I think it's right that we do that. Sometimes rules feel like their only purpose is to stifle us and get in our way. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, it's a good opinion. Thank you for sharing it. What a great idea, Greg. Now our third and our final idea actually comes from me. Yes, Sam, come on. This is what I am saying.
Do rules make life better or worse? If you'd asked me when I was a young person, my initial response straight away would have been rules make life worse. But maybe I've changed my view over some time. And this time, today, for you and for everybody out there, I'm going to say that it depends. That's my answer. What does it depend upon? For me, it depends upon if the people who have to follow those rules were a part of the process of creating them.
Oh, yeah. See what you're doing here, Sam. It's a good one. So you're saying that rules are best when they're created or made by the people who are going to have to live by them. And so it's not that rules are good or bad, but it's how they're used and made, which is the most important. Yeah, great view.
Thanks. Love that guy. What a guy. That's great. So that's our debate this week. Top marks, Greg, for your listening skills there. Very good. So do you want to remind everybody what we're debating?
Yes, so the three ideas this week for the question, do rules make life better or worse, are option one, better. They keep the world in order. Option two, worse, they're boring and get in the way. Option three, better if they're created correctly. So remember, there's no right or wrong answers, but we just want to hear what you at home have to say.
And that means it's time for us to decide which of these three options we are going to argue in favor of or share our opinion on when our debate starts. So let's just spend a moment and think to ourselves, if we haven't already made up our mind, which of these three options we agree with. Let's just take 5 seconds. Okay, brilliant. How is the debate going to work, Greg?
Right, so we're going to need somebody to lead today's debate. Can't be an adult, can't be a teacher, parent or carer. It's a really important job. So what you need to do once you've picked who's going to lead the debate is you need to stand up like a teacher. You need to point at the person who's going to speak next. Make sure that everybody gets a turn. So it's a nice fair debate today. And when the clock hits 30 seconds, you're going to say, this home thinks that, just so that we know what we're going to be voting for and everybody's clear. Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Fantastic. Now, if you're not the leader of the debate, what you need to do is just decide on which option you agree with. Hopefully you've done that already. Tell your family or the people around you what your opinion is. And then at the end, everybody needs to agree on which option you're going to vote for. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, now is the time to head over to homedebateclub.com to make sure that your vote is counted. That's it.
Great, and it's going to last for 5 minutes, today's debate. Use the time well. After the time has passed, you'll be able to vote. We'd love to see who's going to be the first to vote this week. You'll be able to see if you're first, fifth, 10th, whatever, and we can't wait to hear what you've got to say. So are you ready? The timer will appear in a moment. So let's
Let's
Debate.
debate. We're back, which can only mean one thing, that the debating time is nearly up, and that means that the voting is open. So stop debating. Uncle Gary, get him to shut up. The time is up. You need to have reached an agreement and be ready to cast your vote. To vote, all you need to do is click on the idea you agree with, and you've got about 30 seconds to do that from now. Greg, who should we give some shout outs to while we're waiting for the votes to come in?
I would like to give a big shout out to JM, who sent in their idea this week and last week as well. So it's amazing to get so many ideas on these questions that we're sending out to people. Also, I'd like to give a big shout out to Aidan, who said that I think rules are good because you know what the expectations are. That is a good word to use, I think. And expectations is knowing what's expected of you. And the explanation of that Aidan's given is as a good rule that he'd like to sort of say as a good example is that you have to be at school at a certain time because otherwise everyone would arrive whenever they wanted to, and we wouldn't be have organized lessons. And that is a brilliant example of a really clear rule, I think. So well done, Aidan. And also thank you to everybody else who sent in their ideas. But yeah, some great views this week, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that. That would be chaos, wouldn't it? Okay, so well done to everybody for getting involved. All of the ideas are great, but here is the winning option. You should see it appearing on your screen in a moment. And the winning option is a categorical win for option A, which is better. They keep the world in order. I mean, are we surprised about that? Greg, your opinion didn't get a single vote. Not even from you.
Yeah, I think the reason why that one won is best shown by Aidan's example there, which is such a clear example to help us to understand why rules are important. Can you imagine being a teacher and everybody just turning up whenever they fancied? It would be pretty difficult, wouldn't it? So yeah, thank you to everybody who's got involved. That was amazing. So what an amazing debate. Don't go anywhere yet. We want to tell you what next week's question is, and we want to share with you how you can send in your idea. But before we do that, let's quickly announce our idea of the week. So who's won idea of the week this week, Sam?
Well, I know he's in the comments. I know he's watching. Jake in Wilmslow, it's fantastic to have your ideas again, like it is from Uma and from other people. But you're the person we're celebrating this week because of how well reasoned your answer or your idea was. It was well articulated. It included a fantastic example and some great word choices. So well done, Jake. We're celebrating you this week. Now, you guys at home, we think you should celebrate somebody that you debated with as well. So we're going to give you 30 seconds where Greg and I are just going to sit here and be quiet whilst you celebrate somebody that you've debated with for any reason, anything they've done for you, anything you thought was really good. So let's just wait 30 seconds while you do that. Okay, I think that's long enough. So well done to everybody at home for sharing and celebrating somebody too.
Right, okay, so I am going to reveal next week's question, which is a fantastic one. Are you ready, Sam?
I am so ready.
Okay, right, so here is next week's question that we're going to be discussing at 10:30 next week. What do you wish you knew at the start of the pandemic? So think back to before schools closed or mostly closed, and think back to what you would have liked to have known. And if you've got an idea already, if you've thought of one already, then you can tell us what you think by clicking on either the link that I've put in the comments, the one that says submit your idea, or if you're watching on Home Debate Club, just scroll down after the debate's finished and click on the button which says tell us your idea, and you can tell us what you think you would wish you'd known at the start of the pandemic, and the best ideas will be featured in next week's debate. So can't wait to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, our viewers have got such wisdom, I find, every week, and I'm always struck by it. So I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say on this pandemic question, because I'm sure there's a lot that we could learn from it. So we're looking forward to seeing your ideas. And then finally, last thing of all, parents, just a quick note to you. If you are watching and you'd like reminders of the debates and activities to help you prepare for them each week, then we need your email. So please sign up by clicking on the box that's just beneath us on the page. You'll scroll down and you'll see the sign up there. And if you could also like and subscribe our YouTube page, it will help us reach more people. And that's us for this week. So thank you so much for coming along to Home Debate Club, and we'll see you at 10:30 next Wednesday.
Great. Should we have a little dance, Sam?
I mean, I suppose we should, shouldn't we?
Oh, sorry.
Where's the music? Where's the music?
Don't worry, it's back.
Oh, good.
Home Debate Club. Home Debate Club.
I'll put all my adventure stuff back now. You've made a right mess of my room.
You've got to take it with you on your adventure, okay?
Home Debate Club. Home Debate Club. Home Debate Club.
Oh, still going.
Debate Club.
Bye, everyone.